This is Gary Atencia with CNTV, and today we're in Denver, Colorado. We are here at Stellar Events, LLC. Since 2009, they have been providing an event planning company known for their exceptional service here in the Denver metro area, along the Front Range, and quite honestly, into the mountains of Colorado here. I'm here with Nell, who is the owner and founder. Thanks so much for joining us here today. Why don't we start off, first of all, in 2009, you began the company here, but quite honestly, it was many years before that you had experience professionally serving the folks here of Denver. What got you involved initially in this industry?
Volunteer work, actually. I started volunteering at the Children's Museum when I moved here in Denver in 2003, and they immediately needed an event planner to hire, so I became a full-time staff person, planned dozens of events, fundraising events, 5K run walks, just the gamut. And when it got to be 2009, I decided to branch out and do weddings.
Wonderful. Let me ask you this. Obviously, we throw an event, and quite honestly, that event is a reflection of either the person who threw it, the couple who threw it, or even an organization. Is that why a lot of folks are now turning to professionals to help them out?
I think so, absolutely. They really need a professional to help their vision come to life. It's interesting, one of the biggest challenges is that the event planning position always falls on someone. So the question is, who is that going to be? Is it going to be a loved one? Is it going to be a caterer? Is it going to be someone that, should be there enjoying or doing something else on your big day or at your event? So when you have a professional there, you're able to rely on all of their experience. They're able to think quickly on their feet to solve issues. They're able to provide all kinds of wisdom of what works and what doesn't so that that event goes off without a hitch.
Wonderful. Speaking of without a hitch, nothing like the rush on the end of a night. You're looking back at that day and you realize that it went great. People had a great time. They enjoyed each other. But quite honestly, we know there's months of planning, of many details that went into that event. But quite honestly, the events, the details, that's what you shine, that's what you do for a living.
Yes, that's true. Some of my clients I work with for 18 months prior to their big day, so we have a lot of time to work through all the details and really have an event come to life. Some clients I jump in at the last second and just make sure that everything that they have intended to happen that day or that night happens the way that they intended.
Excellent. Let me ask you, how important is it for someone to choose an event coordinator that actually enjoys and loves what they do? Does that come through on that night?
It definitely does. I think that's true with any industry, that when you hire a professional, you want them to love what they do. Any professional, when they love what they do, really can shine and can really make that an event special for everyone.
Wonderful. Speaking of everyone involved, obviously you coordinate the event, but there are a lot of professionals that are actually included, be it a small event or large event. Why is it important for a coordinator to have a great working relationship with some wonderful top vendors, best in Denver?
Well, because we all become a team on that day. We all need to be on the same page. We need to be following the same timeline. And so if we work well together, then the event will go very, very well. I take pride in all of the wonderful vendors that I work with. It's one of the reasons why I love event planning, is because of the event professionals that inspire me every day.
Wonderful. Speaking of inspiration, what are some of the services out there that you do provide? Because I see you do everything. I mean, you're like a one-stop shop. I mean, you've got from the photographers, the decorators, the limo drivers, you name it.
It's true. Well, my business is sort of run in two different departments. So one side of my business is doing contract work with nonprofits. If they're in transition, if there are event planners going on maternity leave, or for whatever reason they just need someone to come and help them, I step in and I make sure that their fundraising events go off without a hitch. The other side of my business is the weddings, and with that I have a completely innovative online wedding concierge service. It's consisted of hundreds of local vendors in the area that are professionals. I call it the inner circle. And a couple will go online, they fill out a free questionnaire, and based on the answers that they give me in that questionnaire and what they're looking for, I narrow it down and I really pick the one or two vendors that I think are the best fit.
I love that, because quite honestly, you've taken the stress off the client of having to run around Denver, who's good, who's not, this and that. You've done the due diligence, you've done the research, and that's how they became on your inner circle.
That's true. I've either handpicked them or they've gone through a very strict application process in order to be included in the inner circle.
Excellent. You talked about two sides of your company. Let's focus on that one big day, that important day that's got to be planned and most important to many people, and that's your wedding. This is still your sole specialty.
It is, and it's the most important day of anybody's life, so it should be treated with, the utmost respect and detail, and with passion and with enthusiasm.
Excellent. Let me ask you, I mean, a wedding's kind of unique because quite honestly, you're dealing with more than one person many times. You're dealing with the bride, possibly the bride's mom, possibly the fiance. Everybody's got a little input on that special day for themselves. How important is that collaboration, that communication that takes place on the initial consultation as well as throughout the whole planning process?
It's extremely important. And I tend to try and make that very clear up front with my clients. Find out who the decision makers are, which decisions should be left up to different people. And we define that very well just right from the get-go so that no one ends up feeling left out, no one ends up feeling overbeared upon, and the whole process runs smoother.
Like you said, you take a lot on your shoulders so other people don't have to carry that load. They can actually enjoy that day. That's what it's all about. What takes place at that initial consultation? Is there a fee for that, or is that a complimentary?
It's completely complimentary, and hopefully it's an opportunity for couples to learn something from me even without spending a dime. On that first consultation, I'll usually find out where they are in the planning process. So some clients, like I said, I do day of coordination with, where they've done all of the legwork, and I come in and make sure that it runs smoothly. Other clients I work with from the very beginning, holding their hand through the process and helping them from the start. So it's nice to know up front at that first consultation where they are in the process and where I can be of most service to them.
I mean, you really are able to take a custom approach with any client out there. Like you said, I can take the whole thing, or you can bring me in the last minute. We can take a look. No matter what, we're talking about creative solutions that you're bringing to the table, and obviously you're able to share some great tips out there with folks of what they could do.
Yes, that's true. And like I said, I love for it to be a learning experience. I love for it to be an opportunity for the couple to be talking about their wedding, maybe for the first time. So I always love to ask them, what parts of your wedding are you the most excited about, so that I can see that glimmer in their eye. But then I also make a point of asking, what's stressing you out about this, so that I can tell what parts I need to play a bigger role in.
Wonderful. Now, when we think of an event coordinator, many times folks think of big elaborate events, and obviously you've got the experience to do such a thing, but what about a smaller wedding? Somebody who says, you know what, I don't know if I need a coordinator. What size do you recommend, and are you able to help all sizes?
I'm able to help all sizes. If an event is 300 people, then I may hire an assistant to help me with that event. If it's an intimate wedding of 25, which I've done, we can still make that beautiful and a wonderful event for them as well.
Wonderful. I mean, you've been doing it for some time. Do you like also keeping up on the latest wedding trends and things that are changing out there and sharing those with your clients?
I love to do that. I love to write articles. I love to be up on the latest trends. I have lots of blogs that I follow, and I love to be inspired by other people's wonderful ideas.
Excellent. Folks, take a look at the bottom of the screen. If you're going to see right there, basically, is their website. On the website, you're going to get a better idea of all the different services she's able to provide. You're also going to take a look a little more in depth at those vendors. I mean, she's got a wonderful network, as she refers to as her inner circle. You're also going to take a look at the testimonials they have there as well. And keep in mind, basically, like she says, there's really no event too small or large. She basically can sit down with you in a consultation and make sure it's something that you're both going in the same direction with. And she has a lot of resources there on the website as well. Take a look at the blog as well as Facebook, give you some great tips to help you throw off that great event. What's nice about technology now is, quite honestly, people are able to use the website, internet. This is really a one-stop shop you've created here, not only for the folks that are getting married, but those wedding vendors as well. Explain a little bit more for me.
Sure. Well, it's actually a really wonderful invention, my website, because I can only do so many events every year. So this way I can provide a service to those couples that I am not always available for. So they go online for free. They take an online survey. They tell me what it is they're looking for. And based off of those answers, I match them to the vendors that I think are the best fit. So it's free for them. It's totally free of charge. For my vendors, it's free for them to join. They just have to pass the application process. And then there's a small referral fee if we end up closing business.
Wonderful. So you're like the matchmaker in between here.
Exactly.
I like that. Speaking of a larger community, how important is it for you to give back to Denver, the city that basically helped you get started?
Oh, it's extremely important to me. I've been involved in the nonprofits here for 10 years. I have several different nonprofits that I've worked with closely, have fallen in love with, and so it's one of the biggest parts of my life that really makes me excited.
Wonderful. Like you said, your expertise is that of weddings, but you work with a lot of nonprofits. What about corporations, organizations that just want to throw an event? Are you available for them as well?
I am. I don't target them as a market. I focus mainly on the weddings and the nonprofits, but I just had someone ask me today if I could help with their opening. So I'm happy and open to do any kind of event.
Wonderful. Last time, viewers, take a look at the bottom of the screen. What you're going to see is that website again. We're also flashing her phone number on the bottom of the screen. Simply just give her a call. She will set up a consultation with you. She's bringing with her basically many years of experience here throughout Denver, and she has at her disposal really a network of vendors that she has handpicked, honestly, each one of those. Remember that Stellar Events, dedicated to making the planning process a breeze while supporting the professionals here in the wedding industry. This is Gary Atensi with CNTV, and if you don't know, now you know.